Here are 4 things I stopped doing that resulted in unintentional weight loss. As someone who's struggled with her body image and weight since I was 11 years old, these 4 things blew my mind because it went against everything that the diet industry taught me. Number 1, I stopped doing high-intensity interval training. I know this is really a revolutionary idea because we're taught that HIIT is the best exercise for fat loss, but the truth was I was doing intermittent fasting and HIIT training first thing in the morning, and I put on like 20 pounds, honey, because it was so many intense things that it was actually really affecting my hormones and it was causing my body to put on weight. And that was a fact that nobody ever taught me. Like it went against everything that the internet was saying. So when I learned to slow down, do low intensity workouts such as walking is the best. I started doing weight training, but in a way that was not super intense. My body responded very favorably. And believe me, it was actually really hard to not work out every day. If you're someone that learned that exercise is what makes you feel good and helps you lose weight, it is really hard to learn that rest is really important, and too much exercise is actually counterintuitive and counterproductive to the results that you want. So that's very important. Number 2, I stopped dieting and restriction. This was totally messing up my body, my metabolism, my sleep. Oh my gosh, all the chronic restriction and dieting I had no appetite. My body just kept packing on weight because there was so much stress. I learned instead to heal my mindset around foods, heal the foods I was afraid to eat, aka carbohydrates, thinking it would make my body gain weight, which was not true. I learned how to eat full meals and I learned to prioritize nourishing my body because I knew this restriction thing just wasn't working. So I urge you, if you're a person who's chronically dieting, to wake up and realize that less than 2% of people who ever go on a diet actually keep the weight off. Your body is not designed to restrict. It was causing me to binge eat all the time. It was not good. So stopping the diet, stopping the rules and restriction was one of the best things I ever did. Number 3, I actually stopped focusing on weight loss. My entire life, I had this fixation on I had to have a better body. I had to change my shape. I had to do everything I could to have the perfect figure. And guess what? All of those interventions did not lead me to that outcome. The more I obsessed about my body, the further away I got from a healthy relationship with my body. And even when I had a body that I thought was my ideal shape, I still wasn't happy because all that mental crap was keeping me miserable. And when I let go of this attachment to losing weight, the irony was my body released the stress that I was carrying and just came back to my natural way of being, which happened to be in a thinner body. We have to realize that this obsession about weight loss actually keeps us stuck. And that will lead me into point number 4. Most important point, revolutionary, save this, write it down. When we have emotional pain about our body, meaning like all the stressful thoughts that we carry about our body, I'm not good enough, I don't like the way my body looks, I just need to lose weight, I feel insecure, all of that emotional pain we carry about our body affects our physical weight. I was making myself sick from all those negative thoughts I had about my body, and it was severely impacting my weight. Research shows, which is revolutionary and we're never taught, that the thoughts that you have about yourself, the beliefs that you carry about yourself, have just as much of an impact on your physiology, meaning the way your body looks, the size of your body, the amount of body fat that you carry, your metabolism, your sleep, your energy, the way you digest food, the list goes on. Your beliefs and your thoughts that you have about yourself and that you believe about food have just as much of an impact on your body as the food that you eat. But we're always taught it's just calories in, calories out. And that is so not the truth. Once I learned that if I could just release all this emotional pain I was carrying about my body, about all the stress, all the insecurity, all the obsession, once I learned a tool to release that emotional weight, my body lost weight, like easily, because we have no concept of how much that emotional pain and distress actually physically weighs on us. It's like taking a 100-ton backpack off your back finally and setting it down and being free. So the tool I used to do this, which was the biggest game changer in my life in relationship to my body, my confidence, my weight, was emotional freedom techniques, otherwise known as tapping. This technique is absolutely revolutionary. By using this technique, we actually release the emotional weight, all of that weight in your mind, in your emotional body, physically, and you will change your physical body just by working on your beliefs and mindset. This isn't something you can just talk through with a therapist. This is like you have to use a special technique to really shed that layer, multiple layers, honey, of emotional pain. I share a lot more about that tool on my page. And I hope these tips help you.